Well, here's something you ought to be getting: 50 cal ammo cans. Now these are made in Qingchang, China from Harbor Freight, but they're cheap. I don't think they're any different from the mil spec cans. I guess the only difference I can tell is possibly the quality of steel and paint. Maybe, I don't know. But I don't think these ammo cans from the, that are truly, they are mil spec sort of, I'd say. I think the only difference would be probably the paint would be the main thing, which if you wanted to, you could hit them with a shot of something like this, or a truck bed lining, and that would make them pretty corrosion resistant too. Say you had to bury them in the ground, but if you buried them in the ground, you want to make sure they're under a covered area, like I don't know, a shed, carport, whatever, something, anything, sidewalk. These can also function very well as Faraday cage. If you wrap up some electronics in bubble wrap, you put it inside here and you close the lid so the bubble wrap is not contacting the outside, and this is all sealed all the way around. It's a pretty damn good Faraday cage. It could be like your power zapper device, which I talk about on some other videos, which I think is a great medical device. Ammunition, fishing gear, electronics, camera equipment, right? Yeah, I'm not a fan of made in China, but I realize the exchange rate is not going to hold up the way it is forever. I don't think the US dollar, Chinese yuan is going to stay the same, and you'll find out there ain't going to be no place you can buy stuff cheap. And they seem to close up with a nice, nice and tight. They seem to be made pretty well. I mean, it's not, sometimes, Chinese quality, I know, is just not good, but this is not something that's extremely complicated to make, and just a simple piece of stamped metal. It looks like it's damn close to the original. It's got the handles on the side. The handle on the side, I thought it was just one handle, I guess. Pretty damn close. Pretty damn close, because I got original ones. This looks very close to the same thing. I couldn't tell the difference. Probably the paint, the only difference. But, I forget what I paid for these. I think it wasn't much more than $50, free shipping. Maybe it was, I don't even think these were $10 a pop. I forgot what the hell they were, but they're well worth getting. Like I said, I'm not for it. I buy USA stuff, but then sometimes I'm looking at eventually you're not going to be able to buy anything for the same price you are now made in China. Just like back, I've said this before in other videos, but if you remember, Ronnie Reagan let the yen rate float with Japan because Japan was killing us with imports, right? And the yen rate went from like 260 yen to the dollar to like 130 or to 125 inside of like a year and a half. And everything in Japanese made got expensive real quick. And still the imports, well, they start moving the imports over to Korea, Singapore, China, Philippines, Vietnam. But then what's going to happen is, I think the dollar itself is going to start losing value compared to a lot of these other currencies. Maybe not the euro and the British pound and the Japanese yen, but in relation to the currencies that we're importing stuff from currently, which means we are between a rock and a hard place of buying cheap stuff, because you're not going to be able to produce this in America for this amount of money unless people are working for free practically and growing their own food to survive and living in a hut someplace. Like this knife I got for like $10, one of my favorite little Chinese made Rebel knives, which I had to tune up a few times to make it work nice, put some JB weld on it to make it strong. Well, guess what, that was USA made, probably be 3 times the money. If these are USA made, they'd be 3 times the money. So get them while you can, even though it's made in China. Thing is, it's not like you're buying something made in China that you're going to throw away in a year, which is a lot of crap that most people buy made in China, like electronics. This could last you many, many years. So it could be for tools. This could be This could be a great toolbox because, especially for putting in the trunk of your car, you can have like your tire inflation kit in there, tire repair kit, can of that inflation stuff, some wrenches, all in one place. And maybe not the jumper cables wouldn't fit in there, but maybe maybe a gauge or two, maybe something like a diagnostic gauge that tells you what the code is or something, and some wires and fuses all in one place, and it'll be watertight and you wouldn't have to worry about it. You can also put Jihadi Paradise tickets in there too, as we call ammunition sometimes, right? So to me, well worth it. And they all seem to, close with that precision, just the way they should be. Like they're tight, but not so tight you can't close these lids. See that? Right? Got enough rivets on here. Yeah, I don't think these are screwed up. I think the only difference between the GI version, the exact, maybe there's a slight difference in quality of steel, but I don't think the GI version had like the best steel in it because it's just an ammo can. We used to use these as targets all the time, right? But I think the paint, maybe the Chinese paint isn't as durable as the GI paint, but get some truck bed lining, and if you say you're going to bury them in the ground or something like that, especially in a covered area where the ground isn't going to get wet, spray some truck bed lining on it, and you get yourself a waterproof container. Now you can put some pistols in there, ammo, whatever the hell it is, 45, things like that. So, like this, the hood on this little Suzuki has been truck bed lined, and that's why I like it, because I could throw stuff on it like ammo cans and not worry about scratching it or nothing like that. It's a little workbench. So, just a hot tip. These are from Harbor Freight. They were on sale. The one thing that aggravated me was that you had to pay sales tax, and I almost didn't buy them because of that, because I'm buying stuff more online to avoid paying sales tax, because I don't want to give nothing to the government, period. Nothing. But, even with the sales tax, these are cheap enough. And like I said, it's not the fact that they're cheap. You're going to get a lot of years of utility out of this stuff. This can be just for organizing something. A lot better than these plastic bins that crack and fade and chip and fall apart in sunlight. I've had so many of those plastic bins that fell apart. They're junk. I've had these. I've had ammo cans for decades, and they're still good. And like I said, they make a great Faraday cage. If you get some electronics, you wrap them up in some bubble wrap. They're insulated from, since it's bubble wrap, they're insulated because they're plastic. It's got an insulation. They'll be insulated from the sides, and then all this is sealed up against, an EMP. So you can have your CB radio in there, two-way radios, weather station stuff, your power zapper, I don't know what else, man. Battery charger or something, maybe an electronic ignition, spare electronic components for your car if your car gets EMP'd. Put that in, like, if it's not too much of an electronic ignition car, so it's just got a minor electronics on it, you can put some spares in there. That's a very great Faraday cage too. But I guess the main purpose is Jihadi Paradise tickets. Anyway, over and out.